You can ask over lunch because the speakers will all be around. We now have a short presentation by Livinguard. We have Tejas from Livinguard who will take us through the presentation. And we have also set up a demo just outside between here and the lunch area. So we'll take you through the presentation and then you all can look at the demo later on.
Gentlemen, we've heard about dignity, we've heard about statistics. We've seen how contaminated water today is a problem. We've seen how many working days are lost. We've seen how many children die. Let me share a personal experience with you, which made a huge impact to the way I started thinking about water. About a year ago, I was traveling by train over the Mahim Creek, and along the way, somehow on the tracks, the train stopped. And there I saw a lady. She was dipping a brass matka into the Mahim Creek. And the train stopped long enough for me to see her take that water, go to a hut which was just, about 10 feet away, pour the water into a holding container, and then the train started. And that's what got me thinking. Today, contaminated water, we've seen these stats. The dignitaries before me have run it through brilliantly. They've managed to convince all of us that this is indeed a reality, and I'm completely aware of the gravity of the situation. Definitely, if you look at this, if you look at the way people wash themselves in the lakes, in the open sources of water, and then there are people drinking of it. We just heard the speaker before me talk about open defecation. Today in rural areas, these are the places where people defecate into. And that is the water people like these, the villagers, will end up drinking. If we take a living specimen, I think these guys are the living harbingers of E. coli. These are the people in which E. coli and other enteric forms of bacteria and viruses thrive. These are the people who really need clean drinking water. And don't we all? I think today in the marketplace you have solutions. The reverse osmosis process, which undoubtedly takes off some minerals. But as the speaker before me also mentioned, wastes a lot of water. You have other filtration systems which use chemical dosing. But do we have a system that will work at high contamination levels? And by high contamination levels, I mean 6 log of bacteria, which is 1 million bacteria per ml of water. Without any chemical dosing, without any chemical that leaches out, and which gives them water for a longer duration, completely hassle-free. Isn't that what we require? Towards that end, this is where Livinguard stepped up to the plate. Livinguard technology is a non-leaching, non-dosing and non-toxic chemistry technology. What we do is simple. We take a piece of textile and we coat it with proprietary chemistry. We process it to make the chemistry permanent, which means it does not leach out, which means it lasts much longer, and which means that particular piece of textile has become disinfecting because the chemistry we put on it creates billions of tiny knives, I would call them nano knives, chemical knives, which actually physically pierce the bacteria, explode its cell wall and kill it. You cannot escape it, and there is no way you can bypass it, because you can have MRSA, which can resist. You can have MDR or multi-drug resisting organisms. If you have forms of bacteria in your body, they can resist medicines. But bacteria cannot resist piercing of its cell wall and killing it. Our system, the one that you can see there also on the table to my left and to your right, is one that is gravity based. We said, let's pass water through it and let's see what comes out on the other side. And incidentally, our cartridge gives you 6,000 liters of water per cartridge. This particular prototype, as you can see, is what I would like to call as the rural filter, which is meant for the rural areas where you would want to give people like the ones you saw earlier, clean drinking water, 20 liters a day, 24 liters a day, at extremely low costs of about 8 paisa to 10 paisa per liter. We heard about 30 paisa per liter, we heard about 1 rupee per liter, but we are looking at lowering the costs because we want the stakeholders to be able to benefit maximally by investing minimally. The technology is explained to you. This is a small schematic which will tell you what exactly or how exactly this is supposed to function. You pour water through the textile The bacteria are pierced by the tiny knives that are seen in the insect. And the water that passes through is completely pure. By completely pure, I don't mean that there is no form of bacteria in it. There is bacteria which is dead. And dead bacteria doesn't harm you. It's the live ones that do, and it's the live ones that we kill. And we not only kill bacteria, we kill viruses. 6 log of bacteria in 5 minutes. And by bacteria, I mean both gram-positive and gram-negative. We kill 4 log of viruses in 15 minutes. And about 5 log of cysts in the same time. What you get at the end is completely microbiologically pure water. This is an image I just took recently because I was a skeptic. I didn't believe, this could work. I thought, why not let's see, how the textile works. Many people ask me, you talk about physical piercing, killing bacteria. We can't see killing bacteria. I said, hey, let's take a SEM scan, the scanning electron microscopy scan. And this is what you can see, that the labelings there are small tiny bacteria, and the other blotches, they are also in the process of exploding. The bacteria that die then form these blotches, these exploded blotches, which are basically dead colonies of bacteria. And this shows you, not to the level of the nano knife, but to the level of dead bacteria on a single thread of the polymer, the polymer coating that we use on the surface, which has billions of knives on it. In order to prove our technology, people ask us, what proof do you have? We said we went to the Hafkin Institute, and the Hafkin Institute passed 6 log of 5 different bacteria each. It was E. coli, Salmonella typhi, Shigella, Vibrio cholerae, and Enterococcus facialis, which is the one in faces, the human excreta. We passed 6 log of each of these through water. And the thing that I need to beg your attention is the last column there. It says after passing water through filter, treated water, the count is nil. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's nil. 10 to the power 6 bacteria kill, absolutely. The speakers before me have mentioned other technologies. I respect other technologies in the marketplace, they're brilliant. There is scope for technological innovations and which will keep on happening. We talked about the reverse osmosis process and the small drawbacks in it. For example, the loss of water. Livinguard technology is very simple. It doesn't use electricity, it doesn't use power. We don't need to plug it in anywhere. You simply use a cartridge, pass water through it, gravity based, and at the end of the day what you get is clear, pure drinking water. The advantages are for you to see. I won't waste time of all of you reading this. I know all of us want to go to lunch. We have solutions for everybody. And by everybody I mean from the rural filters that this one is, which do about 20 to 24 liters a day, to urban households. The one that you see here, the design on the right, is this filter we are developing in conjunction with General Electric. That's the one for urban households, where we intend to do about 75 liters a day of water filtration. And then we have an industrial filter setup. The industrial filter is currently with Forbes Marshall in Pune. And there you can do anything upwards of 100 liters to you tell me what. We can filter water. And in fact, this is the one at Forbes Marshall in Pune, where they have used the input water to be kitchen water. And by kitchen water, I mean after you wash your dishes, after you wash pretty much everything in that dirty, filthy water, you pass it through the Livinguard candle. Let me share an interesting happening there. When I went there to check this filter, they told me, look, we have a German-based system which is all electricity powered and which is high-tech. And then we have your small little filter system, that's a Livinguard filter system. And we thought, let's test both of them. They tested the German-based system, they tested our system. And they didn't tell me the exact reports of the other system, but they told me, yours performed way better. Let me leave you with a couple of videos. Incidentally, the water that we have today for testing is from a similar dam.
More than 80% of India does not have access to clean drinking water, and as per the WHO, more than $60 billion a year are spent on waterborne diseases. Yet, fresh water is all around, water that can be easily purified into drinking water.
पानी के लिए सब ये पानी हमको गंदा पीना पड़ता है।
घसा दुखता है, सर्दी, खोखला और दुखता है।
Solutions do exist. Solutions like reverse osmosis and UV rays, but in rural India, the lack of piped water and electricity are major hindrances. Our filter, Aqua. Made out of proprietary nanomaterials, water can be filled into this right from any source. When water enters the holding container, it comes in touch with this cloth with medicines and nanoparticles which kills all the germs and bacteria, passes through a solid material nanoparticle filter, enters the bottom holding container through another filter, and 4 hours later, we have fresh drinking water. Another great advantage is the scalability. Unlike other solutions, we can go from 20 liters to community-based 100,000 liter solution. Clean drinking water, it's not a luxury, it's a right. And Aqua can make this happen.
That I'd like to show you. This is about the Forbes Marshall plant where we have the industrial filter set up. And so it's a very short clipping just to give you an idea of how the industrial filter that we have looks. Basically, the Livinguard filter, we can tailor it to whatever flow rates we require. And we're looking at, as you very rightly said, there are markets there. There are rural areas where people require this kind of pure drinking water. We're looking at providing them simple solutions. We're looking at providing them a solution that will be hassle-free, that will be cost-effective, that will be without requiring energy, and at the end of the day, that will keep them safe. I thank you all for your time, and I'll be glad to answer any of your questions during the lunch break, maybe shortly after the presentation. Thank you.